Welcome back to English from A to Z, English in real life. There's this incredible moment on the journey of building wealth, a point where the constant struggle finally seems to ease up. It's that moment you realize your money is starting to work harder than you are.
So that's the big question, isn't it? When does it stop feeling like this constant uphill fight? At what point does it start to feel, well, almost automatic? Let's actually break down that journey and find the answer.
I think the best way to picture it is like you're pushing a massive rock up a steep hill. It's just a total grind for so long. But eventually, you reach the top. And we're talking about that incredible, magical moment where the rock crests the hill and just starts rolling forward all on its own. So, here's the roadmap for today. We're going to start with that grind, the uphill battle. Then, we'll see the first cracks of light, we'll hit the tipping point, and finally, we'll arrive in the automatic wealth zone. After that, we'll dig into the core principles that actually get you there and what this all really means for your life, beyond just the numbers.
Okay, first up, the uphill battle. This is exactly what it sounds like, the grind before the gain. It's where almost everyone starts, and honestly, it's where a lot of people get discouraged and give up.
We're generally talking about having a net worth of under $50,000. Think of this as the foundation phase. And let me tell you, it is without a doubt the toughest part of the entire journey.
In this stage, every single dollar feels like it was earned through blood, sweat, and tears. Progress feels almost invisible because your main focus is just on creating stability and maybe paying down some debt. And what's so demoralizing is that one small emergency, a car repair, a medical bill, it can feel like it wipes out months of hard work. Your money just isn't really working for you yet. Compounding hasn't kicked in.
But if you stick with it, you get to phase 2, the first cracks of light. This is where you start to see the earliest, most exciting signs of real momentum.
We're looking at the $50,000 to $100,000 net worth range here. You're definitely not at the top of the hill, but for the first time, you can feel that the rock is getting just a little bit lighter.
And the psychological shift here is it's massive. Because for the first time, you can clearly see your money earning its own money. Maybe it's a few $1,000s a year that you didn't have to lift a finger for. You've basically created a second, silent income source. And that, my friends, changes everything.
All right, this leads us to section 3, reaching the tipping point. This is where that magical force we call compounding starts to get really real.
That $100,000 mark is widely seen as the first major turning point. Why? Because it's a number that's finally large enough for your investment returns to become truly meaningful.
Think about it. A pretty standard 7% return on $100,000 is $7,000 a year. That's money you didn't have to work an extra hour for, money that just showed up. This is the point where you truly realize, wow, my wealth can finally grow faster than my own effort.
And that $7,000 a year, that breaks down to almost $600 a month. Imagine getting a check for that amount every month for doing nothing. That could be your car payment, your grocery bill. It's not just a number anymore. It's real, tangible, breathing room in your life.
And all of that incredible momentum carries us to our final destination, the automatic wealth zone. This is it. This is the top of the hill. The rock you pushed for so long is finally rolling on its own. Just look at how this starts to scale. At $500,000 invested, a 7% return generates $35,000 a year. That's literally the median individual income in the US earned passively. Get to $1 million, and now we're talking $70,000, a very comfortable salary without you having to trade your time for it. This is when wealth truly feels automatic. And what happens is your entire mindset shifts. You go from survival mode to growth mode. The question in your head is no longer, how can I possibly save more from my job? It becomes, okay, how do I protect and grow what I already have? Preservation suddenly becomes just as important as accumulation.
So how do you even get here? It's really not magic, I promise. It all comes down to a very simple but incredibly powerful engine that creates all this momentum in the first place.
The formula is as old as time, and it's this simple. You earn, you save, and you invest. That's it. You work to create a gap between your income and your spending, you consistently save that difference, and you invest that savings so it can grow and compound over time. The true wealth engine, the thing that powers this whole journey, is that gap between what you make and what you spend. And the real key here isn't trying to be perfect. It's about being consistent, being good consistently, year after year. That's a discipline that builds financial empires.
So finally, let's look beyond the numbers for a second, because the goal isn't just to have a bigger account balance, right? It's about what that balance really gives you, which is true financial freedom. This right here is the emotional payoff. That constant nagging stress of relying 100% on your next paycheck, it just evaporates. Your entire relationship with money shifts from one of anxiety to one of control and possibility. Because the real prize isn't more stuff, it's choice. It's the freedom to make work optional. It's being able to choose projects that actually excite you or to build businesses you truly enjoy. Your big life decisions can finally be guided by what you want to do, not what you need to do to pay the bills. And that is true freedom. And it's so important to remember this. Wealth becomes automatic not just because you hit some magic number, but because of the discipline and the habits you built to get there in the first place. The process is what teaches you how to handle the result. The two are completely inseparable.
So in the end, the goal isn't just a number. It's about building a life where your money is quietly working in the background, supporting the choices you truly want to make. So, I'll leave you with this question. If you had that freedom, what choice would you make first?